You're taking all of me. Yeah.
12:17 p.m. here in St. Vincent, Grenada, and Nerissa, Eastern Caribbean. Locked on to the Queen for a song. WEFM 99.9. At this time, our Midday News sponsored by Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Good afternoon. It's 12:15 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and across the Eastern Caribbean. I'm Nerissa Sandy with WEFM's Midday News, coming to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Find the season's best deals at Courts. Shop today for up to 50% off on your favorite items like the Sony 50-inch 4K Smart TV. It's now just $3,799. Save $1,800. The Ashley Callion Love Seat is now only $2,299. Save $700. Save $600 off the Whirlpool 9 cubic foot refrigerator. Now $1,999. And get this Technical Pro rechargeable speaker, now only $849. With Ready Finance, shop today with no cash and get 90 days for your first payment. It's the season's best deals, only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. In the news, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, will next month launch his latest book. The book, called A Time of Repair Beyond COVID, Volcanic Eruptions, Hurricane Elsa, and Global Turmoil, Fresh Hope for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, that's what it's called, and the Prime Minister said that the book was written to engender hope in the Vincentian population, both at home and abroad, noting that the book had its first launch in New York.
It's been launched in New York. It was launched in September, and it will be launched in St. Vincent and the Grenadines formally on the 19th of January. I say this not to promote the book, but simply that it contains within its pages reflections on precisely the subject which I'm talking about.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Former President of the United States of America, Bill Clinton, and Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, were among those who received copies. Copies were also given to Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip Pierre, among other officials. Local police officials are investigating the circumstances surrounding the shooting death of Mikhail Charles. According to reports reaching WEFM News, Charles was shot dead in Pauls Avenue by an unknown assailant on Monday, December 26. His death brings this country's homicide count for 2022 to a record of 42, making it the bloodiest year in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is alleged that the deceased was visiting someone during the time of his death, which is said to have occurred sometime around 7:30 in the evening. Oswald Breton, a resident of Belair, was the victim of the island's 41st homicide, which police in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are currently looking into. In other news now, residents of Point Village in North Windward are celebrating yet again after emerging the overall winner in the Vinlec Community Lighting Competition for 2022. The announcement was made today by Chairman of the Nine Mornings Committee, Orandi Bamani Charles, in an official press release. Second position went to the Sign Hill intersection, third position to the Rose Hall Works, and fourth to Top Belair. Korea City Store won the Best Lit Commercial Building category. Jack's Enterprises placed second, while the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines settled for third position. Villa Top Christmas Gardens won the Best Lit Garden category. In the Best Lit Private House category, first place in Zone 1 went to Glenroy Pierre of Pitty Bodell. In Zone 2, Wayne DuPont and Zachary O'Dane, both of Green Hill, tied for first position, while Olivia Da Silva of Canaan and Carol Jardine of Georgetown placed first in Zones 3 and 4, respectively. Best Nativity Scene, first place went to Olivia Da Silva of Canaan, while Rose Hall Works, Rosebank Village Square, and Leyu, Velux Corner are the national winners in the Vinlec Best Lit Private Home category. Winner of the Best Lit Private House is Olivia da Silva of Cane End. Best Nativity Scene and Best Lit Commercial Building went to Carrez City Store. Second place went to Jack's Enterprises, and third place went to the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In related news, the 9 Nights of Light at the Botanical Gardens has been extended to the public for an additional 2 nights for viewing. In a post on its official page on social media, the committee in charge of the event announced that persons who did not have an opportunity to view the lights will be able to do so on December 30th. Persons were able to do that yesterday, and it will go on for another night on Friday, December 30th. The last official night of the 9 nights before Christmas was on December 23. Friday night's event will feature a movie night and other forms of entertainment for the entire family. 9 Nights of Lights coincided with the National 9 Mornings festivities and is the brainchild of the curator of the garden, Gordon Shallow, whose idea came about in 2014 during a committee meeting for the 250th anniversary celebration of the Botanical Garden to be held in 2015. In the region, U.S. President Joe Biden is currently in the U.S. Virgin Islands to enjoy some downtime and warmer weather and to ring in a new year with family. According to Caribbean Loop News, the president and his wife, First Lady Jill Biden, flew from Washington on Tuesday of this week to St. Croix, one of the 3 islands that make up the U.S. territory in the Caribbean. St. John and St. Thomas, the other 2 islands. The Bidens were joined by their daughter, Ashley, and her husband, Howard Crean. St. Croix is a tropical getaway that Biden has been getting away to at least since he was vice president, from 2009 to 2017. We're still in the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, we're hearing that an election for a new president of that country is scheduled to be held on January 20. The date, according to TT Gazette, is the 23rd of, the date was confirmed by a notice in the TT Gazette dated December 23. The current president, Paula May Weeks, took office on March 19, 2018. At that time, she was the only nominated candidate and was elected without need for a vote, becoming the first woman in the country's history, that is, to hold the title president. She is the country's 6th president. On the international scene, at least 100 people have now been sentenced to death or charged with capital offenses in connection with the protests in Iran. According to a rights group, 5 women were among those at risk of execution, and the rights group happens to be a Norway-based Iran human rights group. The real number of protesters facing the death penalty was believed to be far higher because of families being pressured to stay quiet. 2 men were executed this month after what activists said were sham trials. Iran, according to the BBC, has been engulfed by protests against the country's clerical establishment for just over 100 days. They erupted following the death in custody of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman who was detained by morality police in Tehran on the 13th of September for allegedly wearing her hijab or headscarf improperly. So far, at least 476 protesters have been killed, including 64 children and 34 women. Authorities have portrayed the protests as foreign-backed riots and responded with lethal force. And in sports, Novak Djokovic has arrived in Australia almost a year after he was deported over his stance against COVID-19 vaccination. Tennis Australia confirmed today that Djokovic will open his 2023 campaign in Adelaide as he prepares for a shot at a 10th Australian Open title. The 21-time major winner has been granted a visa by the Australian government and is listed to play at the Adelaide International, which starts this coming Sunday. The Australian Open runs from January 16 to the 29th in Melbourne. Djokovic has won the Australian Open a record 9 times, including the last 3 times he played. Rafael Nadal won the 2022 title in his absence. Questions remain around how Djokovic will be received by Australian fans this year. Tilly told reporters on Tuesday he believed Djokovic will be well received. And this brings us to the end of WEFM's Midday News for today, the 28th of December, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent.
Find the season's best deals at Courts. Shop today for up to 50% off on your favorite items like the Sony 50-inch 4K Smart TV. It's now just $3,799. Save $1,800. The Ashley Calleon Love Seat is now only $2,299. Save $700. Save $600 off the Whirlpool 9 cubic foot refrigerator. Now $1,999. And get this technical Pro rechargeable speaker, now only $849. With Ready Finance, shop today with no cash and get 90 days for your first payment. It's the season's best deals, only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
Out with the old, in with the new. In the past, you complained when we failed. We listened and went back to the drawing board. At last, a new, fresh beginning. A fresh face, a new product. International Standard Metals A792 presents Galvalume, an aluminum roofing metal, branded best used for roofing material, tested and proven to be of superior quality. Get wider coverage for the best prices on the island. We offer a variety of colors, including zinc sheets. Also, take advantage of our unique roofing patterns, U-panel, industrial, and crimp Spanish style. Visit us at the